everyone, we are group 5 from AC1 1C.
This is the formula that we use. For question 1, 2 and 3 is about chapter 3, which is compound interest, and for question 4 and 5 is about chapter 4, which is annuity. Let's start with question 1. Lina owns an antique value at 19,000 ringgit and is considering two options. A. Sell it now and invest the proceeds at a 6% interest rate compound quarterly. B. Keep the antique and sell it after 5 years for 110,000 ringgit. Analyze which option provides a superior financial return. Support your conclusion with appropriate calculations. The formula that we need to use is S equals to P, 1 plus I power of N. Firstly, list down the information. P is 19,000, T is 5, K is 0.06 and M is 4 because it's compound quarterly. N equals to 4 multiplied by 5 equals 20 and I equals to 0.06 over 4. So make the calculations and the answer for S is 121,216 and 95 cents ringgit. So the conclusion is Lina should choose A because the total value after 5 years is 121,216 and 95 cents, which higher than 110,000 ringgit from B. Therefore, investing the 19,000 ringgit at 6% interest compounded quarterly offers a better financial return.
Question 2. Rahman deposit 1,500 ringgit into an account with an annual interest rate of 6.5% compounded every 2 months. After 3 years, he planned to make an additional deposit. His goal is to have a total of 6,000 ringgit exactly 2 years after the second deposit. Based on current deposit and interest, what should be the amount of Rahman's second deposit? Discuss how compound interest and deposit timing influence the growth of his saving in this scenario. First, we need to know the value of the first deposit at the end of the full 5-year period. He deposited 1,500 ringgit into an account that has 6.5% annual interest, compounded every 2 months. So we use the compound interest formula, that's its future value. When we calculate it, the total amount accumulated after 5 years is 2,072 ringgit and 42 cents. This is the amount for the first deposit after 5 years. Next, we know that Rahman's final goal is 6,000 ringgit at the end of the 5-year period. We need to determine how much of that amount must come from the second deposit in order to reach the target. So, the target amount minus the value of the first saving. We will get 3,927 ringgit and 58 cents. This amount is the future value of the second deposit after it is compounded for 2 years. To find the present value of the second deposit, we need to reverse the compound interest process for 2 years. From the calculation, the required second deposit is 3,441 ringgit and 20 cents. Now let's discuss how compound interest and time influence the growth of his saving. Compound interest help Rahman saving grow faster because interest is earned on both the original deposit and the accumulated interest. The first deposit grows more since it stays in the account longer, while the second deposit has less time to earn interest, so it needs to be larger to reach the 6,000 ringgit target.
So for question 3, Siti deposit 9,000 ringgit into an account running interest compounded semi-annually reaching 11,500 after 4 years. For question A, we need to calculate the annual interest rate the account earns based on this growth. For this question, we need to use formula S equal to P and bracket 1 plus I power of N. So we will use 11,300 ringgit as the future value, which is S. So 11,300 equal to 9,000 in bracket 1 plus K per 2 power of 8, and the answer is 6.22%. For question B, we need to predict the total amount if the original deposit is extended for an additional 2 years at the same rate. Originally we used 4 years, but now we need to use 6 years. So we just use the same formula, which is S equal to P 1 plus I power of N. So S equal to 9,000 in bracket 1 plus 0.0622 per 2 power of 12. So the answer will be 12,997 ringgit 26 cents. Question C, we need to determine the total interest earned over 6 years and discuss the key factors influencing this growth. So the calculation is we need to use the answer for B to minus it with 9,000 because 9,000 is our originally deposit amount, which is the answer will be 3,997 ringgit 26 cents. So the key factors influencing this growth is when there is high number of rate, it will produce faster growth, and also larger principal which makes larger absolute interest earned. Now we will proceed with question 4. Fadlan made 50% down payment on a house price 700,000 ringgit. He borrows from a bank that charges 4.2% interest compounded monthly for 30 years. For question A, we need to calculate his monthly mortgage payment based on the loan amount. So for this question, we need to use present value annuity, which is A equal to R in bracket 1 minus 1 plus I power of negative n per I. So the amount of A will be divided by 2 because Fadlan already makes 50% down payment. So 350,000 ringgit equal to R in bracket 1 minus 1 plus 0.042 divided by 12 power of negative 360 divided by 0.042 per 12. So the answer will be R equal to 1,711 ringgit 56. So for question D, we need to determine the total interest paid over the loan period, which is we just need to take the answer from A, multiply it by 360 and minus the total by 350,000 ringgit. So the answer will be 266,161.60 ringgit. For question C, question says that after completing the 250 payment, we need to find the remaining balance if he wants to settle the loan early. The n will be 360 minus by 250 because he already made the payment. So we just use the same formula, which is present value in annuity. We take the answer from A, 1,711 ringgit 50 cent in bracket 1 minus 1 plus 0.042 per 12 power of negative 110 and divided by 0.042 per 12. So the answer will be 156,001.37 ringgit. And lastly, for question D, the question says if he missed the first two payments, analyze the amount payable on the third payment to clear arrears and discuss possible consequences. So we just need to use 3 as a n, and we need to use the future value because we need to know how much he should pay at the end of the third payment. So S will be equal to 1,711 ringgit 56 cents and in bracket 1 plus 0.042 per 12 and power of 3 minus of 1 divided by 0.042 per 12. So the S will be RM 5,152 ringgit 67, and the consequences of missing payment will be the borrower will be charged overdue interest on the missed payment, and also the bank may issue reminder notice, and lastly order to get future loan because borrower record is affected.
I love buys a modern dishwasher costing 38,000 ringgit with a 10% down payment. She financed the remaining amount through monthly installment of 580 ringgit at an interest rate of 5.2% compounded monthly. A. Calculate the total time in years needed to fully settle this loan. B. Evaluate the impact of interest rates increase or decrease on the repayment period and total repayment amount. We use the monthly installment formula. In this formula, we substitute P equals to 34,200, A equals to 580, and the monthly interest rate is 0.052 divided by 12. After substituting all the values, we rearrange the formula to isolate 1 plus I power of negative n. Then we solve the equation to find n. From the calculation, we get n equals to 68.24 months. Finally, we convert months into years by dividing 68.24 by 12. This gives us 5.69 years, which is approximately 5 years and 7 months. For part D, if the monthly interest rate increase, more of the monthly payment goes towards the interest. This makes the repayment period longer, and the total amount paid will increase. On the other hand, if the monthly interest rate decrease, more of the repayment goes towards reducing the principal. This shortens the repayment period and reduces the total amount paid.